Hey, still Heather. Definitely still an alcoholic. Going to start myself off with the typical disclaimer. All opinions and interpretations are solely those of the, what's that again? The individual. I only speak for myself. Just this drunk, just this alcoholic. And if you get something from it, I would be over the moon. If you learn to not do something for me, because I qualify myself as an alcoholic multiple times a day, that'd be fantastic too. I had it overall, if I were to grand scale my day, I had a great day. You know, I have like this blip here and that blip there. And it's ironic because I really enjoyed that. The other day, someone asked me to speak, and they asked me for me because I've spoken before, and they've heard me speak and invited me and asked me in advance before, like, will we come back for another cycle? And so currently I'm in a cycle, and I will be speaking on step 6, which is really, really pertinent to my life right now because I am struggling but actively working to not hold on to the shit after the moment. Like, I can't do anything about it once it's already happened. If motherfucker left my mouth, it already done left my mouth. My fingertips flow, motherfuckers flew. I try to be better about those. Those, at least you get like a second and a pause and you got your moments. Not that you still don't fuck them up. I'm accusing you, taking my own inventory only. I got enough of my own. I really don't need to focus on anyone else but me right now. And I think it's a great God reminder that, like, yeah, Heather, you really do need to focus on this, and this could be a really great opportunity for that. So, of course, I said yes, which is my rule anyway, but even if it wasn't my rule, I'd say yes. And I'm at a point in life where even if it wasn't my rule, I still say yes. And I love that I'm in a place that, like, I want to feel. I want to do these things. I feel comfortable enough to do these things. I want to say yes. I want to be available. I started totally nervous and anxious when I speak. I sometimes wonder, did I fucking make any sense? Did that go anywhere? Just like you share, just way more max. And I know in the last, like, I don't know, this is called 6 months, there's been at least twice that I've shared that I let the headspace I was in or the pressure of a reason push me into speaking when I wasn't there. I was so up in my head over here that I felt like I just babbled and like, God, I wanted to stop myself. And then the other one was complicated. And I can't say I love myself after because I didn't feel like myself. It wasn't my story or my words or moments. They're accurate things, but it's not my story anymore in that way. And the emotions that, like, ran from this particular well, I don't even think it was running from that well. It was running off of the fear well that I was anxious as fuck about. and I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't there. I don't want to be there. So there's that part, and that's a complicated thing, and it's gonna be a thing I feel like I'll probably be faced with again. So I should probably, and I have been working on a way. But I also came on because at the end of the night or after a meeting or a service day or whatever is when I really do have like the most. And tonight's meeting is like, I love when there's just unexpected. I love when people just like show up and you're like, oh, yes, I don't know you. Oh my God, there's two of you? You came as friends? It's a buddy system? Yes! I don't know how to describe the joy of seeing that. And the fact that they're like excited to be there. Not that weary, ooh, I might log out. No, like that I'm here, and then hey, so is someone else. And you're not gonna log out. Because logging out's real. So, and the shares were just so 1 point, like 5. Which is weird because step 2, and I shared class on purpose because I feel like sometimes step 2 is the hardest for me to share about because that's not a struggle that I have. And tonight when I spoke about that though, it actually reminded me and like brought out some stuff that I kind of sort of forgot, or I kind of realized, or I realized like way more, oh my God, really, Heather? And most of it was talking about the fact that like I've had spiritual freedom pretty much always, within reason. You know, I was raised Catholic because that's all we are, and I'm okay with that. And if anyone takes offense to this, that's going to fall under the your interpretations and opinions piece, because we all have the right to be wrong, and I could be wrong, or you could. Does it really matter? We're listening to my shit, which means nothing because it's just coming from this drunk's mouth. But so I was raised a Catholic, and I'm good with it, and I call myself a buffet Catholic, as a friend taught me, because I take what I want and I leave the rest. I am an inclusive person. I believe in equality and love for all, and I believe in way too many modern things. Besides the fact that I went to, this all-girls Catholic Christian-based school, that's nothing at all like the perceived stereotype that anyone could ever imagine of where I got my faith, I got my spirituality. I got the jackpot. I never not believed in God. I never stopped. I never got so angry and blamed him. I knew how to pray the right way, properly. Sure, I get angry at God. Absolutely. I don't turn my back on God. I don't think God failed me, forsaked me, did anything to me, and it's just, no. But fuck yeah, I get mad at God. I still get mad at God. Do you think that I don't curse out God? Yes, I do. That's what this one does. Your faith gets to be whatever you desire it to be. It's the beauty of step 2 and spiritual freedom. And I love that I had such a diverse cultural and spiritual experience given to me, and that since I was a little girl, and for like as long as I can just remember, I talk to God all the time. And to this day, I will just walk around and have a conversation with God anywheres. And sometimes those internal conversations with God become external conversations with God. And if someone says something to me, I will legit be like, ooh, sorry, having a quick chat with God. Well, I think it might be done quick. I don't know, actually. It's God. These things could take time. Give me a minute, maybe more. I'll be back, I promise. And I legitimately have said this shit to people. And do you know what people have done? Okay, Heather. Yeah, that's nothing surprising coming from Heather. Okay. Like, the only shocky faces are people who've never experienced it before. And when I was sharing about that tonight, I realized I've come so far in my freedom that I legit have no filter about that. There isn't a person or a place, there's a time that I'm gonna just like hide the fact that I'm talking to God. That all I do is talk to God. And since I was a little girl, I talk to God. We conversate all the time. I don't know when it started, but I firmly believe it. If God believed in the mute button, he'd have fucking done that a long time ago. I'd have been the first. I'd have been the OG mute, because that's all I do, which is why some periods when things are rough and people are like, oh, pray about it. And I'm like, motherfucker, he would mute me. What do you mean? I don't ever stop talking to God. There's no point where I'm not talking. I'm having continual conversations. I guess I thought that was normal because I got to walk around my home and my life. And no one made it weird. If anything, my mom made me feel like, absolutely, this completely, you know what? She knew exactly what she was doing. No one forced anything down my throat. They guided me. And clearly I had some strong guidance. But I appreciated it. And then I also had freedom. And I'm 43. 18 happened quite some time ago. So, I left my parents' house after graduation. They've been a part of my life until they died. But there's no point where I had to go defend anything at any point that I had to justify. I mean, I've gone to so many different religious things and spiritual stuff. I've gone to a voodoo Haitian ceremony before. At one point, like 2 years ago, not even, I literally said, like, to people, but also in talking to my sponsor, and I'm like, can I be a Catholic and a Mormon at the same time? Like, is that actually a possibility? I kind of figure it's not, but like, why do I gotta have one? When I went to church on Sundays for a few years, I left work overnights, I rushed home, scooped up the fam, and then drove 30 fucking minutes to a different faith and went there and worshipped. Because that place at that time worked for my soul. I didn't give up on anything. I just found a place that worked for me at the time that I needed. Didn't abandon anything. And since I'm around that, you should shut the fuck up, Heather. No, I am gonna say another thing that I used to do, the church that I essentially grew up in. I had already gotten baptized in my first Holy Communion at the church that my mom got all of her sacraments and grew up in. And all that sweet stuff. But then we moved right after my confirmation, and where I grew up, I got my confirmation there, and that was my church. And while my high school, I had prayer before every class, and we had a chapel in our school, and we literally made a church in our cafeteria type gymnasium with a stage. I don't know how to describe this thing to you. We made a church. We made a church in the place that we eat lunch, breakfast, and gather for school assemblies. And I was the acoustic minister, the body and blood of Christ. So, for whatever reasons and all the things I did, I participated in my faith. I absolutely did. And I don't have regrets about it. But one of the things that I loved when I was there, and I don't believe in confession, but that was a thing that we had to, to some degree, concede with. And since I am a Catholic, obviously there's a different, I don't want to say expectation standard, but, familiarity with this stuff and the willingness to be doing it, because, I grew up this way and I did take all those sacraments, but I had a very progressive and supportive school, and I was able to tell the Father, I respectfully do not believe in confession. I talk directly to God, and I give everything over to Him. Things I won't even dream of giving to you, or any adult, maybe not even my friends. I give it over to God already. I don't need a middleman. I'll take the prayers, penance, but I never thought of it as penance. I just thought of it as, or I think of it now at least, as I absolutely do wrong. I absolutely need to work on myself. So when I went and, I didn't give confession, but I absolutely wanted the prayers because I wanted to connect and commune with God still in that way. And that was A-okay. And then as a drunk, when my soul was restless, I would drive back to my childhood church. And I would sit in the parking lot, because back then there ain't no meetings at that time. There's no hopping on fucking anywhere. It just wasn't an option. And I would drive to the church parking lot and park in the same spot, and I would hardcore talk to God and chain smoke, because I smoked cigarettes then, and would Nash in the parking lot, would not butt my cigarettes out there. I did not litter. I apologized to God, and I said, I'd really like to think that you understand me, and since forgiveness is one of your things, if you could give me a little grace here on this one, because yes, I know it's wrong, but I'm sorry. So, yeah. I don't have to know what that life of wondering is like. And I don't have to wish my parents were alive to thank them. They had a lot of history with their own struggles in the church. And I feel like we all learned over time what God's love looks like. And I love the freedom of choice. I love that anyone can believe whatever they want to believe, because that means I also get to do the same thing. I want freedom, and therefore I have to give it to others. I want respect for my belief system, so I have to respect others. No one says we have to agree. No one says we have to endorse. No one says we have to go and support. But who am I to tell anyone? Think about that. Who the fuck am I to tell a goddamn person who the hell they should believe in? So, if you have not found something, I so will sit here and pray and dream and hope for the ends, because the ends. And, well, if you'd like to hear some more about how my crazy ass Catholicism and the buffet works, or my little histories and antics of the ways, you can find me. Click a comment if you actually found this, because I don't know Delisha or these yet. Don't know if I ever will. Don't know if I should. But please let me ever share.